Hi guys, you're welcome in usaeservice.com. For more management study and latest world news, visit our website usaeservice.com. Today we will discuss about learning guidelines in organizational behavior. Let's start. Learning means the action, process, or experience of acquiring knowledge or skills to change our behavior. It is the individual's personal growth as a result of cooperative interactions with others. It is an advancement of understanding that enables the learner to work better in their environment, improve behavior, build and maintain healthy relationships and achieve personal success. The guidelines for learning are tried and tested by decades of teaching research. There are 12 guidelines for learning: readiness, recency, repetitiveness, reinforcement, relevance, feedback, schedules of learning, whole versus part learning, primacy, boundary-less, presentation effect, multiples roots. Readiness means a degree of concentration and eagerness. Individuals learn best when they are physical tangible, both mentally and emotionally ready to learn. Although every person can learn from the environment, a human must learn things quickly and they must learn from others. One should learn things voluntarily without taking any force from it. Recency: the theory of recitation states that recently learned things are best remembered. Conversely, a further expression is removed from time to time by understanding a new factor, as difficult as it is to remember. For example, it is quite easy to remember an address that is noted a few minutes earlier, but usually a new address it is impossible to recall what has been noted in the last month. Repetitiveness: things that are repeated many times with the learner can easily capture these things. Learning includes the repetition of key ideas so that they can be recalled during a test. When an employee does an activity over and over again, he or she can learn it completely and be less likely to do wrong things, and the employee can do this work in less time. Human memory is decaying. The mind can rarely maintain, evaluate, and apply new concepts or practices after a single performance. Every time practice occurs, learning continues. The instructor must repeat the important items of the subject matter at appropriate intervals. Reinforcement: this is another important principle of learning. This means recognition of activity. A learner may be positively or negatively reinforced. When the learner is positively reinforced, it means that when they receive financial rewards or non-financial incentives at the time of reaching a higher level of skills, they have continued their behavior, and when they are negatively reinforced, means that when there is no assessment of their learning, those who stop their behavior. There are 4 basic forms of reinforcement: positive reinforcement, avoidance, extinction, and punishment. Relevance means is closely linked to the case at hand or appropriate. Learning is useful when the material to be learned is meaningful. If the learner can know the overall purpose of a task before attending a learning session, it will give them the relevance of each task. A document or a piece of information must be relevant to learning. Irrelevant information impedes proper learning. Feedback in the learning task: learners benefit from feedback on their performance, but response time depends on the task. Feedback about performance will enable the learner to know that where he stands and to initiate corrective action if there is any deviation from the expected target. Such feedback is virtually indispensable for learning. A crane operator, for example, would have difficulty learning to manipulate controls without knowing how the crane controlled the action. Schedules of learning: probably the best way of the established and well-documented learning principles is that distributed or vacancy practice to continuous or comprehensive practice. This seems to be true for both simple laboratory tasks and highly complex tasks. In fact, the learning schedule can be manipulated in 3 different ways: the duration of the practice session, the duration of the rest session, and the state of the rest session. Supports short exercise periods and moderate rest periods. It is usually much more effective to have only 1 or 2 shorter consecutive rest periods compared to single long rest periods, after 1 or 2 long exercise periods. Whole versus part learning: it has been a major task in the psychology of learning to determine whether to learning the whole job is better than breaking the work and learning into parts. In learning, a person not only has to learn each of the different parts, it is possible to combine individual parts so that the entire performance is complete. However, there is no overall conclusion in this area. Primacy, it means a state of being first, often a strong one. Makes almost unstable perception. Previously learned things create a strong impression in the mind which is difficult to erase. In many ways, aphorism is the best move to initial attachment. For the instructor, what is taught the first time must be correct for the student. This means that learning must be correct. Boundary-less, the learner can learn anything anywhere. Learning should be threshold-less. It should not have any specific area or location. Presentation effect. To improve the learning process, we have to develop IT and visual presentation facilities. For better and easy understanding, we should use multimedia where we can show different information or pictures. Multiples routes. There are many ways to progress or move forward. It allows learners to make choices, relying on their own strengths and learning styles and problem solving, while also exploring alternative styles. These are all learning guidelines or principles. These guidelines are very important for learning anything effectively and efficiently. In fact, it is the act of acquiring new knowledge, or modifying and reinforcing existing knowledge, behavior, skills, values, or preferences, and in different kinds of information. Can be synthesized. Basically, the above list presents the basic principles that underlie effective learning theories. Discovered, tested and used in practical situations. They provide additional insights for people to learn most effectively. Thank you friends for watching. For more management study and latest world news, visit our website usaeservice.com. Please like, subscribe and share our YouTube channel, US News and MBA Audio. Hi guys, you're welcome.